Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of a weekly Waypoint recorded from my very own PlayStation 4. This time we are playing The Crew 2, which is a racing game that I've finally been able to keep installed on my PlayStation 4, thanks to my new hard drive, long enough for me to realise that I love it. I love this game, it's one of my favourite racing games. Now I'm not saying it's better than Forza Horizon 4 because that would be sacrilege, but it's certainly not as further down the list of racing games below Forza Horizon 4 than I previously assumed it was based on other people saying things. It's really fucking good. I got the Platinum trophy in it the other day. I wouldn't say it's a particularly difficult game to Platinum. Maybe I'd say it takes a certain amount of time to do it. I didn't really take a look at what my game time, what my play time was. But I would assume it was somewhere in the region of 30 to 40 hours. It's kind of hard to gauge because I played this game in two big lumps, once 2 years ago and once today. 2 years ago or a year ago or something like that, but yeah, that's not what I've been playing, I would say, in my immediate history, because I haven't really played it for a couple of days, but it is something I've been playing in the last few weeks or so. And this is me driving the Ford GT. I used to... Basically, the final trophy I had to get for Platinum was to buy a car. Was to own 30 cars, even not to buy a car, that would be really easy. And I bought the Ford GT because I thought that'd be a fun one to get like the Platinum trophy screenshot on. And then of course I turned it blue and gave it stripes because that's what all the best Ford GTs look like. And this was my first time racing it, and it turns out it's a really good fucking car, so yeah. Also, one last thing before I move on to other topics. This is downtown Los Angeles. This is probably one of the only places in the game where the frame rate hitches slightly. Most of the game performs perfectly, but Los Angeles is quite a big concentrated area, so with lots of objects and stuff in it, so the frame rate does dip below 30 occasionally, but I'm sure if you have a PS4 Pro that wouldn't be a problem, or a PC or something. But it wasn't too distracting and I enjoyed it. Also, they voted, spoilers, this video has two races and they voted to redo this race. So to try and keep things fresh, I swapped to the car I played most of the game in, which was my Mazda MX-5? I should really know by now. And it turns out the Ford GT is definitely the better car, who would have guessed? Lately, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey again. I don't think I talked about this last week. It was what I was doing last week, but last week I was purely fanning out about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, wasn't I? So, and you know, rightly so, because that game... No, I'm not going to go back into it. We'll be here all day. But I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey again, and I beat the main story, and I'm not going to give any spoilers away, don't worry. I'm not even going to give any hints of spoilers away that you can probably accidentally figure out what happens in. All I will say is that I made some bad choices, apparently. Then I looked up what those bad choices were, and they were kind of bullshit. So, I think it kind of shows, and this isn't the only reason I'm saying this, by the way, I'm not that annoyed about the bad ending, but this and a lot of other things, I think, kind of show that this is Ubisoft's first, or at least that studio and Ubisoft's first attempt at making a proper RPG with choices that change the outcome of decisions, because sometimes the dialogue didn't always reflect, you know, the changes, like the choices you made, and sometimes it came across a bit wooden, and certainly people, like, the voice acting was great, but the faces did not reflect the emotions that the characters were going through. They were very unchanging in the faces, which was a shame. But those are all kind of minor hitches, I would say, and it's actually a fantastic game that you should go and play, because the scale of the world is insane. The story is pretty good. I'm not going to say it's fantastic, but the story is pretty good. It kept me invested. Cassandra's probably my second favourite assassin behind Ezio at this point. Keep in mind I haven't played a lot of the games past the Ezio collection, but Greece in general is just a joy to explore. I've had a fantastic time, and last Tuesday even, I put out a blog post which is basically outlining my plan to try and get every Platinum trophy in the series, and you can go to kritigri.wordpress.com if you want to read more about that, because I go into more detail, into more depth about, you know, what that means, the kind of journey I've got ahead of me and all that kind of stuff. But I want to get more Platinum trophies in general, as you can see by the fact that I got my 8th ever Platinum trophy with Crew 2. I can't believe I only have 8. How pitiful. No, I don't really think it's pitiful. I just think I've got bad attention span, and that's not necessarily a terrible thing, and I shouldn't put myself down for it, but also I do enjoy chasing platinums, and it's very fulfilling when you finally get them, so I'm definitely going to try and go for more of them. And I want to do that for the Assassin's Creed series just because I love it so much, and there's lots of Assassin's Creed games I'm still yet to play, and I want to go back and perfect the ones I have played because I like them so much. And perfecting Odyssey is kind of a huge undertaking because of how big of a game it is. But also there's just so much left to do in that game that's engaging. It's not like it's a grind. Like, there may be some trophies that are a grind, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. Like, for instance, like, I've still got loads of... they added a bunch of quests to the game which weren't even part of, like, DLC. And they each have a trophy associated with them, although to be fair, that doesn't count towards a platinum one. But, like... I've got to hunt down the remaining cultists still, and I can't reveal too much without going into spoiler territory, but there is a bunch of other stuff that I can still do that is still meaningful to Cassandra's story, even if it's not her quote-unquote Odyssey. And then, of course, I've got the DLCs to do, which I'm very, very excited to get started on. I'm currently level 46, I think they begin at level 50, so I'm still yet to decide which order I'm going to be tackling all that stuff in, but that's definitely something that I'm thinking about doing. And after that, I don't know, I bought Origins again because it was 12 quid and I only spent 25 on it originally a couple of years ago. And I wanted to have it on PS4, not just for the trophy journey, but just because it doesn't perform great on my PC, and all that kind of stuff. So there's that. I got Assassin's Creed 3 and Freedom Cry with, Assassin's Creed 3 and Liberation with the DLC pack for Odyssey. But I'm not going to recount all of this because it'll take too long, and I've already written about it. So, like I said, go to my blog kritigri.wordpress.com if you want to learn more. Sorry, I ran out of breath towards the end there. So, as you can tell, I pause between takes. But anyway, something I spent about 6 hours straight playing yesterday, because that's how I order my life apparently, is Infamous Second Son. That is, I've never played an Infamous game, and apparently Second Son is a good jumping on point. And I bought Second Son like 2 years ago for dirt cheap. I think it was around the time I first got my PS4. A friend recommended it to me, but I had Spider-Man at the time, so I played Spider-Man instead. And honestly, having played Spider-Man, I wasn't expecting to love Infamous that much because I thought I've already played the best superhero game on PS4. I'm not saying it's better, but Infamous is a fucking solid game. It's really fucking good. It is so good, and the first thing I'm doing when I render this, upload it, and go have lunch, the thing I'm doing after all of those things I'm doing, I'm really good at articulating today, is continuing to play Infamous Second Son before work, because, my god, I really like the story in that game, and coming off of Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well, it's just nice to have some facial expression to the acting. But yeah, that's another game I'm going to try and platinum as well, because it doesn't seem like a very difficult one to do, and it does encourage playing through both good and evil. I'm starting with pure good, just because that's how I roll. I'm lame like that, but I will do pure evil as well on expert mode to get all of the trophies. It doesn't seem like expert mode should be too difficult, because I've only died like twice in 6 hours on normal difficulty, so I'm hoping expert isn't too much higher than that. Too many increments above that. I don't really like when games use an expert trophy in their deals, in their fucking trophy list. Like, yeah, do it as like a DLC trophy or an additional trophies thing, but like putting it as part of your core trophy list is kind of annoying to me. But it's a thing a lot of games do. But yeah, just all the different powers you get in that game are insane. And I'm also kind of tickled by the fact that the main character is voiced by the same guy he's voiced by Troy Baker, who does loads of voices, but he's voiced by the same guy who voices Default Male 1 in Saints Row 3 and 4, and that kind of tickles me because in a lot of ways, and I don't know which came out first, I'm assuming Infamous came out first. I mean, I know the original games certainly came out first, but in a lot of ways, Infamous Second Son is similar to Saints Row 4. Maybe not in tone, but like, it's kind of funny to be jumping around a city collecting things with superpowers and stuff, voiced by the same guy who I was doing that in Saints Row 4. But that's great, because I fucking love Troy Baker in that kind of a role. I know it sounds weird to say, especially given the kind of things you do in Saints Row games, but Default Male Voice 1 is one of my favourite characters in video games. He's great. From now on, I will only refer to Troy Baker as Default Male... Fuck. You know, I said that right the first time, but I pressed the wrong button and it deleted what I recorded. In Share Factory, it is a slippery fucking... not a slippery slope. It's a tricky thing, because if you press circle at the end of recording a bit of commentary, it just assumes you meant to cancel it, and it gets rid of it. That is awful design. You have to press X to stop it to save a commentary. But either way, I'm coming towards the end of this video now. As you can tell, I did not do as well in the second race as I did in the first, because the Ford GT just tends to be that better car, and also I crashed into a lot of things this time around. But thank you for watching and putting up with the 720p quality once again. I'm just knee-deep in PS4 territory right now, so that's what we're doing, I guess. But yes. Blurg.